afternoon. I'm Rob, that developer dad, back for the optional afternoon session. So far, I've been pretty consistent about streaming for an hour in the morning and an hour or so in the afternoon every day. But I do want to let people know that while I am in between employers, I'm going to try and hold to that schedule as best I can. But the afternoon streams I'm considering as optional if I don't have anything else going on. I am going to be continuing with the morning streams for as long as I can. While I'm in between employers, but then once I land a full-time job, I'll be moving from every day from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time to probably only a couple of regular weekly streams in the evenings after work so that I can continue doing what I'm doing here. This morning we created a page template that we've applied to all of the top level pages in that developerdad.com. And the next chapter in the AstroJS tutorial that we're using to build my site is creating a layout page for blog posts and things of that nature. And then we'll be injecting content from our markdown files through those templates. But before we dive into that, my wonderful wife tuned into my stream this morning and checked out my website finally. And she brought up that I have a couple of typos in the content on the homepage. And rather than just go ahead and get in there and fix them and push them up to the server and make them go away, I figured that'd be a perfect time to talk about how to more safely and carefully manage issues in our code bases and in our repositories. So rather than just go ahead and fix them blind and push them silently and have the website automatically fix itself, let's go ahead and create a GitHub issue. So I've already got one because the page headers are visually unpleasant on mobile. As you can see, these page headers are not very attractive at all on a mobile experience. I need to iterate on that. We're not going to do that iteration in the styling yet, but I consider these typos to be much more critical and luckily fairly easy to fix. So we shall proceed to demonstrating how we address issues in our code base. So we'll open it up. Come on, here we go. And let's create a branch for this issue. Repository destination is that developer dad. Branch name, let's call it issue / typos in content. It says checkout locally. The branch source should be this. Okay, good. This isn't the way I am used to doing things, and I want to make sure that this branch spawns off of the main branch. I'm going to cancel out of this feature here, and we're going to come down here into the source control, and let's see, pull and push commits. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. What we do want to do, bring up our command window. We want to go git pull, make sure we've got everything the way we want it. Git branch. Create branch from We want to create it from main. And the branch name is going to be issues/fix typos on index and footer. Bam. Okay. We can see that we're working in the issues/fix typos on index and footer. Let's go ahead and make those changes. First place we got to go is index.astro. And let's look at these issues. In the first paragraph, it's not actually the first paragraph, but in one of the earlier paragraphs on index, I say people think I'm crazy. It should read people think. So we'll go ahead and fix that. Here's VS Code. My career counselor is going to have an aneurysm. My peers likely thing. There's my typo. Think. We'll save that. And she also pointed out that the link text for Twitch should say just Twitch and not Twitch TV. Calling it by its shortened name is considered to be the right, hip, correct way. Calling it by its full name apparently is boomer mode. So we'll come into our social links component. No, we're not going to do it that way. I jumped straight to where the problem is. So let's break this down. Let's pretend we are not actually totally aware of where things live. I've got the hot reload. The Astro server is running locally. So as soon as I saved the my peers likely think fix, it's showing up in the local rendering. And we see Twitch TV down here in the bottom matter. So how do we get to that? All right, we'll start looking at index. And we don't see any of those links here. We do see the Twitch link hard-coded down here, but we're going to leave that there. So base layout, that must be where a lot of that stuff's coming from. So we come over to base layout and we see that we're importing headers and footers, and there's some scripts that are getting imported, and the slot is where all of this content comes from. So it's probably in the footer. So let's look at our footer component. And lo and behold, we see that the social links are brought into our footer through another component called social links. And here's our title. Let's go ahead and shorten that right now. And let's come over here. And we see that it now just says Twitch, which is fantastic. We'll go to articles. There's Twitch. We'll go to about. There's Twitch. It doesn't say Twitch TV anymore. And I no longer look like a boomer. While we're at it, why don't we make LinkedIn one word? Save that. And because we're doing that through a shared component, everywhere that the social component is used, we've got it here. It's been updated here. And of course, it's been updated here. Great. All right. We have fixed those issues. Fixed the incorrect wording on the index page. Made the link text for Twitch and linked in more betterer. Let's commit. And we can publish the branch. Now, normally when we push from local up to GitHub, it kicks off an automatic build process and all that good stuff. And like a fool, I didn't associate the excuse me, that commit with with our issue here. So let's go to code, and this is issue number 2. I'm going to grab this. So we'll go to code, and let's go to this branch. This branch is 1 commit ahead of main. Good. And minimal, yeah. Let us do a pull request. Although, let's take a look at our commit. 1 commit ahead of main. We are able to merge. Discuss and review. All right. And I would actually like to amend this to add. Can we amend the commit? I don't necessarily want to compare the branches, but let's see here. That developer dad, main, come in here. Good. Is there a way to see the commits? Where are they? Go to file, add file code. Let's see. You know what? To Copilot. In GitHub, how can I amend a commit message to include an issue ID? I'm using the web interface. And I don't know about you all, but I vastly prefer using Microsoft Copilot when I need tech support to just about anything else. All right, I'm going to pull this off to my other monitor while we do this. Step 1, navigate to your repository. Check. Find the commit. Click on the commits tab. So let's go to the repository. Click. Okay, where is the commits tab? I don't see it. Maybe we have to go to the branch. View all branches. Here we go. Your branch, active branch. We'll come in here. And where is the commits tab? Issues, pull requests, actions, settings. Dear Copilot, don't see the commits tab, the GitHub web UI. Okay, click Click on the code tab. Good. Access the branch. Check. View the commit history. Two branches. Okay, I don't want to necessarily compare changes. Learn about pull requests. Commit. Here's this. View commit details. Browse files. Select the commit, edit the commit message. 2 change files with 3 additions and 3 deletions. Okay. And parent commit. Where the heck? I don't necessarily want to do that, but you know what? This commit is for issue number 2. That'll do. It's gonna have to do. All right, now that we've finished that little distraction, has recent pushes 6 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and compare and pull request. Fix the incorrect wording on the index page. Fixed incorrect wording. Repaired issue number 2. Typos on homepage and link text. Labels. We don't have any reviewers, just me. Labels. Bug. Milestone, helpful resources. We'll create our pull request. And what this does is it starts the process of incorporating the changes that we've made to this version of the code base into the main version of the code base. Repaired issue number 2. It's doing the build and deploy. This branch has no conflicts with the main code base. It's doing its thing. And then once it has successfully built and deployed, it should merge our changes into the main branch. So we're just gonna, this will only take another minute or so. We'll talk about why this is important while the little orange circle goes around and around and around. So your stage site is ready. Oh, let's have a visit. No, we'll not. Let's instead open a new tab. Go to the website. My peers likely think I've lost my marbles. Okay. So let's go to the stage site. Oh, poop. Let's go back. Open in a new tab because I don't want to lose my place. Here we go. My peers likely think I've lost my marbles. They're probably right. LinkedIn has no space. Twitch is good. Let's just double check our other pages. Boop, boop. We're looking good. And let us, that all looks good. We'll merge the pull request. Bam. Confirm the merge. Off it goes. Pull request successfully merged and closed. We can delete our branch just to keep things clean. And is our action rerunning, or did it just, okay, yep. It's doing all those things. So this hasn't yet updated. It will in a minute. But while this is running, I want to pop over to issues. We're going to open this guy up again. And we are going to merged, close issue. No. Let's wait. We'll open this. We'll wait until the workflow run is done. We'll refresh over here. It still says thing. So we'll come over here again. And I am absolutely chewing through the free GitHub Actions minutes that I'm allotted per month. Okay, it says it's done. Likely think. Good, it's fixed here. No space in LinkedIn. Twitch just says Twitch. Very quickly test. Good, good. Now I can close that issue. Incorrect wording is verified on live site. Link changes are visible. Close with comment. There we go. All right. And now if we come back here and look at our issues, we're good. I wonder if we can just see them all. Everything assigned to you, open issues and pull requests. Let's just say everything assigned to you. Okay. One open, two closed. Let's see what's behind here. Typos in content, fixed incorrect wording. Cool. All right. So there's issues. We'll come back to the page headers are visually unpleasant. We'll refresh the web page over here. We can see in our simulator that the wording has been repaired. Our links look better. Fantastic. All right. I'm going to close GitHub. We don't need it again right now. Let's go home. I'm going to close the live web page. And let's get back into our tutorial, because holy cow, we're already 25 minutes in and we've spent a lot of time doing that. In real life, that would have taken me about 5 or 10 minutes max. But because I wanted to talk through what I was doing and everything like that, it took considerably longer. But that's okay. This is an educational exercise for me and hopefully for you guys. So let's get back into the AstroJS Build a Blog workshop tutorial. Excuse me. So we want to create and pass data to a custom blog layout. And yes, we absolutely want to do that. The articles currently, we've got this going on. Our session stand-up notes. I have this hard-coded to open in a new tab. Oh, no, I don't. Not here. But you can see it just takes over and we lose all of our navigation and our footers and all of that stuff. And we have to resort to this back button up here. And that really sucks. and I don't like it. Let's see what's going on. So we'll create a new blog post layout for the markdown files. And we'll pass the YAML front matter values as properties to the layout component. Okay, let's talk about what that YAML front matter stuff is. I'm going to go back to main. And we're going to push and pull so that I don't end up with merge conflicts, because those suck. Those are horrible. Horrible things. When you're working in a multi-person or a multi-branch environment, the very first thing you should do every day when you get into work is pull from the parent branch of your current working branch and fix anything that breaks with incoming changes. If you do that daily, or when your teammates say, hey, I just pushed some stuff and merged it in, please get it right then and there. Don't wait, because incorporating other people's changes into your copy of the code base can sometimes get really complicated and messy. And the longer you wait, the more complicated and messy it will be. Trust me, learn from my fail. I've failed at this a bunch of times, and it is terrible every time. So from that distraction, we're going to go over to session stand-up, and it talked about YAML front matter stuff. And just like in our main pages, up between these fences here, these like three little dashes with some stuff in here. I've called it metadata. The documentation calls this front matter. We can see that the same kind of structure lives over here as well. And again, it's metadata, front matter, etc. Pub date. I'm going to change this. This is all copy pasted. Session Scrum notes. Scrum notes. There we go. Publication date is 2024/06/24. We're modifying it today. Description. Updated daily during each build session with progress and goals for the session. And we didn't update it yet, did we? Tags. Change log. Software process. Learning in public. I like it. Building the website. We'll do it. And let's go ahead and put AstroJS back in as a tag. June 24th, afternoon session. Fixed our first GitHub issue. Just some typos. Talked through branching, pull requests, merging, got to see the CI/CD process work its magic, and let us preview our changes before merging. And that was a surprise. I didn't know it was going to do that. That was pretty cool. Continuing on with AstroJS tutorial. Hopefully will fix the article MD files so they aren't as ugly and intrusive. Save it. Pow. We ain't gonna need the Astro index. All right, add a layout to your blog posts. When you include the layout front matter property in an MD file, all of your front matter YAML values are available to the layout file. Okay. Create a new file at source layouts markdown post layout.astro. I am going to not call it markdown post layout.astro. I am going to call it new file article post article markdown article layout.astro. Pop. There we go. Is empty. Copy the following code into our stuff, into that Astro file that we just created. All right, and so that you guys don't have to watch me type and mistype and all of that stuff, I am going to use the copy button. I'm going to paste it in here. Front matter.title, written by this. Published on front matter dot, oh gosh, what did we call it? Pub date. Front matter dot pub date. And then slot. Slot means anything that is in the file that references our layout gets put in with this slot. This is basically just a replacement token. So I didn't quite follow the process exactly, but that's okay. So const front matter equals astro.props. H1 front matter.title, written by front matter.author. We added the pub date in there and then slot. We need to add the following front matter property in our post1.md. We're going to do that to the session thing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, copy that, pop into session stand up, and it needs to be the very first thing. Save. So what this is doing is it's saying layout will be found at, go up one folder to pages, up another folder, go into layouts and grab markdown post layout. Nope, I didn't call it markdown post layout. I called it markdown article layout. There we go. And I don't really see anything else here with our stuff. That I'm going to send away. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything. So layout, title is there. There we go. We've got our description. We've got our author. We've got our tags. We don't have an image yet. We'll get there. We'll get to that. I'm going to need to use, or I'm going to have to probably set up an assets or an images folder at some point, and hopefully be able to use a relative URL to that, and we'll get some images in there. That'll be a brownie points thing someday when we get through the tutorial portion early, when we'll try to figure out how to get images incorporated. But tags, okay, we've got all that. And let's check our preview. Everything's saved? Yes, it is. So we'll just pull this up here, and we'll do this. Let's go into session stand-up notes. And I don't really see, oh, look at this. All right, that's good stuff. I don't much care for the way this is formatted. I should probably see about a good way to format that so that it's not quite so ugly. Why don't we go ahead and do that now? Just for jokes. Okay, that's doing that. How can I format a date value in JavaScript so that it shows only the date? Blah, 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 if you want more control over the format. So, where are you? To locale date string, intl datetime format object, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's try to locale date string, just for science. And we'll come out to article markdown layout, published on grab. Let's see if this does what we want it to do. Save that. Well, that certainly didn't do what we wanted it to do. What if we pull it into here? Doesn't like that. Save that. Preview. Okay, it really didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. So, instead, date equals date, formatted date equals that. Let's go with pub date string is pubdate.toLocale date string. To locale date string. I don't think it likes that at all. I do not think it's going to care for that one little bit. Update string. Save that. Oh yeah, it just turned it into a string literal. All right. Let's come in here. Take one more second and see if we can figure this out. Wonder if we can do it like this. New date. No, it doesn't like any of that. That's okay. That was me doing an experiment just to see if we could make something work. I didn't trust the process. I need to do more research on JavaScript date stuff, and I understand that dealing with dates in JavaScript is like centering divs. All right. You know what I can do? June 24, 2024. Published on .pub date. Save that. Now we'll test it. That's better. I dislike that a whole lot less. That does mean on these other posts, I'm going to have to do this as a string value instead of some sort of date format. Otherwise, I'll regret it. That's fine. We're not dealing with post 1MD. Let's go back to the tutorial. All right. We saw that the title came in. Here's this. We saw that written by and published on. I want to add some colons here. Written by, published on. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of this session stand-ups header. That can go away. Save. Back to the tutorial. All right, add the same layout property to your other two blog posts. Verify that the layout is also applied to these posts. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to need to grab this. Come in here. And let's say pub date. Whoops. June. What was the date last Thursday? Last Thursday was the 20th. 2024. First post on my new Astro blog. We'll change this to that developer dad. We'll leave the URL stuff, Astro blogging. We'll go edit all of this stuff later. Let's get rid of this and this, because those can go away. Let's pull in blog, or we'll pull in post 2. Grab this. Apply our second layout. And I'm not going to add author or the pub date. I want to see what happens there. Come in here, go back one, articles. I'm just going to open this in a new window. My first blog post written by me, published on June 20th, 2024. Good. Let's open this in a new window. Written by blank, published on. Now, there's a way to make things not show up when the values are not provided. That's done way earlier in the tutorial. I'm not going to mess with that stuff right now. I do want to get through the rest of this tutorial, and we've only got about 10 minutes left. So what I'll do for now, I was thinking I would just go ahead and add those property values to post 2, but nah, we'll leave those empty for now. We now have the option of including elements like a page title in the markdown content or in the layout. Okay, good. Customize your blog post layout. Now, one of the biggest things that's been driving me absolutely bananas about these posts is that when you navigate to a post, we've been losing our navigation. So I am going to come into here. We're going to add an import header from. Okay, so that's layouts slash components slash header dot astro. Very good. Header. Save that. Let's see if we get our header on these posts. So here's articles. Let's go into session stand-up notes. Home articles about. Good. We still don't have our styling. And I'm not crazy about that. So let's pop up in here and, well, we might be reading ahead. Customize your blog post layout. It's doing this stuff. Oh, look. What did I just waste 10 minutes trying to figure out? Is getting this added, refactoring your code to include the pub date and the layout component instead of writing it in the body of your markdown. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and steal this whole line of code here, because it looks as though Save all that stuff. Come in here. 2024, 06, 24. Save that. Post 2024, 06, 20. Save that. Here's the layout. Boogity, 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 boo. Okay. And here's that. All right. Let's take a look at what that did. Articles. Look at that. Okay, so it did some string manipulation to just use the first so many characters. Let's take a closer look at that that JavaScript. So frontmatter.pubdate.toString.slice first through the character at index 10. So this is a slice, unless slice is start index and length. Either way, it's fine. So yeah, it basically just pulls the leftmost 10 characters from whatever the pub date turns into when you call toString on it. Excuse me. So, all right, cool. Home. I still don't like the way it's not styled, but I got to trust the process. Refactor as much as you think is useful to you and add as much to your layout as you want, remembering that everything you add to your layout is one less thing you will write in each and every blog post. Groovy. Here's an example of a refactored layout that leaves only individual blog post content rendered by the slot. Const front matter, astro props, boogity boogity boo, written by image source, slot. All right. And then down here, anything rendered by your layout does not need to be typed into your blog post. If you notice any duplication. So here again, it's talking about taking advantage of the componentization or the modularization stuff that we did on Friday when we pulled our navigation links into a component and when we collected all of the page-wide styles into global.css, as well as the JavaScript that is necessary to make the hamburger menu do its thing. So there's a little bit of script in here that shows and hides our menu when we click on the hamburger up there. That all got moved into menu.js, which then got incorporated into our base layout template. So super handy. I'm very surprised that we aren't using that base layout here in our Markdown article layout. And because I want it to look approximately the same, what happens if I'm going to come and grab base layout over here from index? And I'm going to go into Markdown article layout. Let's import it. We'll get rid of the header. And let's go base layout. Page title. I need to refer to what we did this morning, equals, and then thing. Equals front matter dot title. Whoops, lowercase t, case matters, here, grab this. Actually, we'll cut that, paste it here, get our indents. Now we'll save this and let's see what it does. We are probably going to end up with a duplicated title, but let's see. Articles, stand-up notes, front matter.title. Okay. It really, really doesn't like that. So oh, because I passed it as a string literal. Developer dad dash session scrum notes. Session scrum notes. I want to articles. Plus. Will it let us? No. Nope. Okay. I'm going to comment that out. Emit, wrap with abbreviation, toggle block comment. Save. Come back out here. Session scrum notes, home, stand-up notes. Here we go. Articles, post 1. Awesome. Post 2. That exploded. It didn't like that. Oh, because we have an undefined variable. Haha. Okay. That's something that we're going to have to look into. Because I don't want to deploy bugs, known bugs at time of writing, pub date 2024-06, and I threw that one in there on the 20th as well. Save. And let's just come in here, make sure we fixed it. Good. All right, my second blog post page, we can get rid of that. Bye. Save that. We'll just tidy some of this stuff up. Get rid of the extra line break at the top. What I've accomplished. Boogity boo. Do 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 do. Session stand up. That all looks good. Markdown. We have nested our Markdown article layout inside our base layout, which gets us all the goodies that that we want to have. Almost all the goodies. So we go home, we'll come into articles. Right now, the header is being constructed as that developer.com dash whatever value we're passing in here, right? And when we come into articles, we come into that developerdad.com, my first blog post, which is the title of the article page. But I think instead of saying that developerdad.com, I would rather be able to inject something a little different. It is, however, 2 o'clock, and I need to get ready for a meeting that I'm having at 2:30 with a recruiter. So, for now, I am going to say thank you for joining me. We have our blog posts starting to get some styles on them. We're having our blog posts finally appear the way we want, almost the way we want them to. We'll talk about extending how we can manipulate this this post layout template tomorrow, and just to look ahead to what we are doing, combine layouts to get the best of both worlds. Okay, let's sneak in here. All right, now that you've added a layout to each blog post, look like the rest of your page on your website. I just went ahead and did it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I promised to not flip ahead, and I promised to follow and trust the process, and I didn't. But we have our two layouts nested. I bet they're going to talk about fixing the thing that I want to fix, which is having the title or the page header be a little bit more dynamic and context aware. So I'm going to leave this off right here. We'll pick this up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here where you're watching me. If you're watching me live, if you're watching a recording, I do record, or I do stream every day for the time being on Twitch. The channel is That Developer Dad. I believe it's linked somewhere in around the YouTube stuff. And we'll pick this up and fix up the layout issues that we have in the morning. Just before we go, applied layouts to the article markdown pages. Woot. And we are against main. And this is primary construction, so I'm not going to pick on myself too much for pushing directly into main. These changes will be live on the website probably in a couple of minutes. And so I do need to run. Thank you to those of you who joined me, and hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves.